Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, May 26th, at 8:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 688 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Mashed upgrade, UK experiment could sweep aside fusion hurdle. Trump calls New York criminal probe a witch hunt and claims a poll shows he is the front runner in 2024. Breakthrough infections are rare, and just 2% result in COVID-19 deaths, CDC says. Miss Myanmar 2020 granted refuge with Chin community in Indianapolis. Decades after he was rescued in Colorado storm, man accused of killing two women same day. Woman says off-duty Texas officer shot her when she confronted him in driving dispute. Video shows moment Maserati driver opens fire in D.C. road rage incident. MyPillow's Mike Lindell is turned away from Republican governor's event. Suspected white supremacist accused of hitting two black women protesting Brown police shooting. Magnitude 4.1 earthquake rattles Oklahoma, also felt in Texas and Kansas. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Lakers vs. Suns score, LeBron James, Los Angeles grab Game 2 victory, but Chris Paul's shoulder is the story, CBSSports.com. Portland police declare riot as marchers break windows on anniversary of George Floyd's murder, Oregon Live. Luka Doncic dominates as Mavs take commanding 2-0 series lead over Clippers, the Dallas Morning News. Hive updates, Blinken pledges nearly $40 min additional aid for Palestinians during Gaza tour, Fox News. Defiant Ghosn pins hopes on French probes to clear his name, the Associated Press. WhatsApp is suing the Indian government to protect people's privacy, BuzzFeed News. BTS is ready to break the internet with these new hand gestures, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Poll, most voters oppose new summer call as COVID optimism rises, Politico. Sony is strengthening PlayStation now as it tries to reach 1 billion people, Engadget. Kyrie Irving, Brooklyn Nets plan to just keep it strictly basketball during upcoming trip to Boston, ESPN. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Video of bees working together to open soda bottle has Twitter users buzzing. Jimmy Kimmel hits back at Senator Ted Cruz's angry tweets with a sting reality check. Biden campaign staffers criticize approval of $735 million arms sale to Israel. Belinda Lindas discuss racist sexist boy rant going viral. Senate set to vote this week on January 6th commission. Democrats are losing patience with the GOP on infrastructure, Senator Joe Manchin is not. Academics, writers, athletes stand by 1,619 project founder on a 10-year denial. Johnny Knoxville becomes emotional about Bam Margera's jackass departure. Arthritic alligator somehow stages 3-day escape from Wisconsin Zoo. Actor who provided the voice of Sebastian in Little Mermaid dies. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Bees build large hive at school. Police K-9 receives emergency stomach surgery. Several ID'd in amusement park fights. Pitbull, Akita attacks smaller dogs, one dies. Man pleads guilty to 2019 murder of 6-year-olds. Mother splits $1 lottery prize with daughters. Mother finds disturbing video of abuse of daughter. Woman survives stroke during exercise class. 9-year-old starts lip balm business with mom. Superintendent recommends renaming schools. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. CDC chief urges caution for unvaccinated ahead of Memorial Day. Manchin and Sinema implore Republicans to support January 6 commission. How to spend your guaranteed income. WhatsApp sues India's government to stop new internet rules. Are the Tokyo Olympics safe? Health experts urge a rethinking. How to save ourselves from disinformation, a Times event. Joe West breaks record for games umpired. No charges for Kentucky National Guard members in shooting of barbecue chef. Roman Protasevich, a Belarus activist who refused to live in fear. Idaho couple face murder charges and death of children and a former spouse. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. After mocking and dismissing Wuhan lab theory, media now taking it seriously. Biden pick for ATF opposed by 20 Republican AGs over his views on weapons, ties to gun control groups. Live updates, Blinken pledges nearly $40 in additional aid for Palestinians during Gaza tour. Live updates, George Floyd's brother says death anniversary like picking at a wound all over again. Emmy Rossum welcomes daughter with husband Sam Esmail. California's Newsom order to pay $1.35 in settlement with LA area church over coronavirus restrictions. Greg Gutfeld, will blue state exodus bring bad ideas to red states? In Graham, leftist elites are puppets of Beijing, scared to upset China. Bristol Palin puts tummy tuck scars on display, let's get real. Biden to nominate LA Mayor Eric Garcetti as ambassador to India, report. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Wednesday, May 26th. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Colonial Country Club, profile of Hogan's Alley, home of the horrible horseshoe. Baseball report, can Angels survive without Trout? UEFA Champions League final, how to watch, coverage planned for Chelsea vs Manchester City. Sales of cosmetics, teeth whiteners up as masks come off. Stimulus check latest, is a fourth relief payment coming? Should you invest in Dogecoin? Expert suggests keeping away from controversial cryptocurrency market. Rising after trauma, uncertainty remains 1 year after George Floyd's murder. The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. New Forest Mansion and its 900-acre estate goes on market for $18 M. Pictured, couple fighting for life after gas pipe cut in their home sparked blast which killed boy. It's jabs for the over 30s. Patients in lower age bracket can book their COVID vaccine from today. Lost library including 29 handwritten poems by Emily Bront goes up for auction. Moment mass brawl erupts in Liverpool after bouncer yells go back to where you came from. PM wanted to be infected with COVID on live TV, and called virus Kung Flu. Tracy Cox reveals the 8 most common sex accidents and how to treat them. M&S suffers 200 million losses, lockdown sales plunge. Oxford vaccine linked to strokes, 1 patient dies and 2 hospitalized after receiving COVID jab. Biden shut down effort to prove theory COVID originated from Wuhan lab over concerns about evidence. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. George Floyd's murder launched a global movement. It also sparked a reactionary backlash. COVID-19 live updates. CDC chief tells vaccinated Americans to enjoy their Memorial Day holiday. 3 dead after Japanese vessel, Russian freighter collide. Syrians vote in election certain to give Assad new mandate. Hong Kong legislature due to approve curbs on public vote. Dominic Cummings, Boris Johnson's brain, prepares to dish on the Prime Minister. Families of 21 Chinese runners want answers over tragedy. Iran announces slate of presidential candidates, dominated by conservatives. A father and son noticed a stench near a Stegosaurus statue. They found a corpse in one of its legs. Latin America crosses a bleak milestone. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Coronavirus Live News. NHS England extend vaccines to adults 30 and over, calls for new inquiry into COVID origins. May's superflower moon lights up the night skies, in pictures. Solskjaer sends his final moment to complete season of personal triumph. Highway of Death. Animals pay ultimate price on Brazil's most dangerous road for wildlife. Stranger than anything dreamed up by sci-fi. Will we ever understand black holes? Anger in Zimbabwe at Nihanda statue amid collapsing economy. California Dreams. The natural wonders of Wind-Bullock, in pictures. Police say man's 1982 mountain rescue holds key to double murder mystery. Chinese Communist Party's 100th anniversary preparations, in pictures. Ireland condemns de facto annexation of Palestinian land by Israel. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. No survivors found after firefighting helicopter crashes into marsh. COVID-19 infections are exceedingly rare after full vaccination, CDC. They will kill him, mother of blogger seized by Belarus says he was tortured. Woman charged with assaulting Southwest flight attendant. Manhattan District Attorney convenes special grand jury in Trump probe, sources. Half of U.S. adults now fully vaccinated against COVID-19, CDC. 100 years after Tulsa race massacre, the damage remains. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Belarus journalist Roman Protasevich's colleagues fear for their lives. Grand jury to consider Donald Trump charges. Marilyn Manson active arrest warrant issued on assault charges. France puzzled by mystery anti-Pfizer campaign offer. George Floyd's sister says Biden broke promise on bill. Masked upgrade, UK experiment could sweep aside fusion hurdle. AI emotion detection software tested on new hires. Belarus plane arrest, is it a first? Letter from Africa, why Queen of England has a throne in Nigeria. Jerusalem's Sheikh Jarrah, the land dispute in the eye of a storm. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Gonan legal case, Lebanon life, Japan escape. AP, Myanmar's junta uses bodies as tools of terror. Today in history for May 26. Ceremony marks return of stolen Thai antiquities. New grand jury seated for Trump investigation. Husband, wife charged in death of children in Idaho. Americans with expired passports to return home. Superflower blood moon and total lunar eclipse take center stage in tonight's celestial array. At least 3 dead in shooting inside home in West Jefferson, Ohio. Adam Toledo would be 14 tomorrow. In his honor, his family is creating a sanctuary for at-risk youth in the Midwest. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Man killed, another injured in Linwood shooting. Dozens march in Hollywood to memorialize George Floyd. Anthony Lazzaro, who helped USC grow into a sprawling bastion of research, dies. We're back, July 4th fireworks show to return to Rose Bowl Stadium after last year's dark skies. Los Angeles Police Department shootings remained near historic low in 2020, but are up in 2021. Number 2 executive at California Bullet Train Agency out after long investigation. Column, even supposedly liberal California hasn't changed in the year since George Floyd. LA County Fair is moving from scorching September to cooler May. On anniversary of George Floyd's death, LA rally declares, Black Lives Matter everywhere. Family and OC officials offer $150,000 reward in shooting death of 6-year-old on 55 freeway. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Germany pulls out of track cycling championships in Belarus. Edward Snowden hails EU court ruling as progress on acknowledging devastation of mass surveillance. Ireland urges Israel to end de facto annexation of Palestinian land. U.S. joins calls for transparent, science-based investigation into COVID origins. Several countries tell the WHO annual meeting that a new inquiry with new terms of reference must be launched. China tells Europe, you know what a genocide looks like. UN poised to approve war crimes probe into Israel on Gaza, Jerusalem. Ireland rejects President Biden's global corporate tax plans and will keep 12.5% rate. Ireland to become the first EU state to label Israeli settlement program annexation. Coronavirus, influencers offered money to badmouth Pfizer vaccine. Canadian soldier faces mutiny charges for trying to block vaccine distribution. Belarus closing Canadian embassy as PM Trudeau condemns regime. Antony Blinken says Palestinians deserve equal measures of freedom, opportunity as Israelis. Alberta orders universities to pause partnerships with links to Chinese government. We don't have time, scientists urge BC to immediately defer logging in key old-growth forests amid arrests. The next headlines are from Forbes. European Parliament condemns Pakistan's blasphemy laws. Swiss legend Lara de Kenman retiring to take management role at Grasshopper Club. Joe Harris enjoys his playoff moment as Nets coast to easy win over the Celtics. Cleveland Indians rotation in confusion following Zach Plesac's bizarre injury. Austin Riley just the latest Atlanta Braves star to anchor third base. Brooklyn Nets demolish Boston Celtics in best performance of the season. Brooklyn Nets take 2-0 lead on Boston Celtics as Charles Barkley, Kerry Kittles predict a sweep. WWE NXT results, winners, news and notes on May 25, 2021. San Francisco 49ers Jimmy Garoppolo opens up about Trey Lance and more. OKC Thunder win tiebreaker as final NBA draft lottery odds are set. The next headlines are from Nature.com. The COVID vaccine pioneer behind Southeast Asia's first Moderna shot. Another strike against Zoom, the brain learns faces better in person. Contact tracing app curbed the spread of COVID in England and Wales. Tissues, not blood, are where immune cells function. Antarctic volcano trembles in the wake of distant quakes. Vaccination, Brazil fails indigenous people again with two-tier scheme. A patent waiver on COVID vaccines is right and fair. Deploy international satellite monitoring to safeguard forests. Trade resolution further threatens Brazil's amphibians. Extraordinary final feast to the sacrificial llamas. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,707,620,260 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. WhatsApp sues Indian government over privacy issues. Netflix sets contemporary Anna Karenina series adaptation as first Russian original. Fremantle takes production rights to The Masked Dancer for 29 territories from Korea's MBC. Olympic partner newspaper Asahi Shimbun calls for games cancellation. Moby Doc review. Moby's trippy, more conventional than it looks self-portrait. This Is Us creator explains the season 5 finale wedding shocker. BTS Butter is all over top 40 radio, like, literally on every monitored station. Aerie supports new filmmakers with expansion of the France Weiser grant program. Rand Paul blames Richard Marx for calling for violence against me after suspicious powder incident. Samuel E. Wright, who voiced Sebastian in The Little Mermaid, dies at 74. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. A new grand jury will hear evidence in the Trump investigation. A year after George Floyd's death, plans for Minneapolis police reform have softened. George Floyd's family meets with Biden amid negotiations over police reform bill. DC sues Amazon, accusing it of inflating prices and abusing its monopoly. Events planned across Minneapolis to mark the anniversary of George Floyd's murder. Black Lives Matter fights disinformation to keep the movement strong. Half of all U.S. adults are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19. One person shot near the site of George Floyd's murder on the anniversary of his death. On Juneteenth, historian examines the hope and hostility toward emancipation. Kevin McCarthy leads House GOP in blasting Marjorie Taylor Greene's Holocaust remarks. The following headlines are from The Week. This Florida man found his purpose while watching the sun rise every day from the same spot. Rand Paul blamed pop star Richard Marx for threatening package. Marx's reply was right there waiting for Stephen Colbert. Former prosecutors speculate on Trump's legal peril with new Manhattan special grand jury. New treatment restored limited vision to people with degenerative eye disease. Relatives, opposition leader believed detained Belarusian journalist was forced to make video confession. Biden administration reveals plans for wind farms off the California coast. Kristen Clark confirmed to lead Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division. Trump is gone. America's appalling treatment of migrant kids continues. Report, DA convenes grand jury expected to hear Trump investigation evidence. Samuel E. Wright, voice of Sebastian in The Little Mermaid, dies at 74. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. As homeless camping drama rages, protesters camp outside Austin City Hall. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. Dune and the neutrino mass hierarchy problem. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Record-setting astronaut Peggy Whitson will command private space mission. These are the news headlines for today, Wednesday, May 26th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. What is lunar libration? Total eclipse of 2021's closest supermoon on May 26th. John F. Kennedy commits U.S. to a moon landing. Alien stars found in our Milky Way. Clouds that look like waves in the sky. The next news is from Politico. After Trump, European Union feels a more familiar U.S. arrogance. U.S. exceeds in efforts to delay pandemic treaty. George Floyd's murder transformed America. European Commission to Big Tech, open up your algorithms, or else. Poll, most voters oppose new summer call as COVID optimism rises. MyPillow's Mike Lindell is turned away from Republican governor's event. Expedited budget request could help shorten California recall calendar. Schumer to force vote on January 6 commission this week. Blinken announces $110 min new Gaza funding, now comes the hard part. Trump is starting to put together his own contract with America, and he's teaming up with Newt. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Victoria COVID live updates, health officials in talks over further restrictions as state records 6 new local COVID-19 cases, exposure sites listed in Bendigo, Axedale. Tax office warns small businesses, expect scrutiny on your tax returns. Australia News Live, Victoria records 6 new local COVID-19 cases at MCG listed as exposure site, Chris Minns quits NSW Labour frontbench. Full list of mid-season draft nominees, Hawks poised to swoop on midfielder, Simpson opts out. We want crowds, NRL to decide on moving Origin opener in next 24 hours. Whole new world, the date Victoria Park Golf Course is set to close. Court queries fake nanny's plan to stay with a mystery aunt. Highly unlikely, ASX exec rules out further delays for blockchain project. You always think the worst, plane makes emergency landing on Sydney Beach. Smoke haze hangs over Brisbane CBD. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Do you trust your friends or co-workers to be honest about their COVID vaccine? What about strangers at a restaurant or concert? The Moneyest, my husband of 30 years has been hiding income in secret bank accounts, with his mother's help. Cryptus, crypto investor protection talk heats up but lawmakers hope to allow buyers to Dogecoin to their heart's content. Dispatches from a pandemic, pretty much everyone has them on sale, the nationwide obsession with buying face masks is over. Economic report, home prices rise at fastest pace since 2005, here's where they soared the most. Economic report, builders are reluctant to sign sales contracts for houses, high prices erode new home sales. Disney's newest sandwich costs an eye-popping $100, but there's a more expensive item on the menu. How much does the racial inequity value gap at work cost U.S. employers? The answer, billions. The value gap, the verdict and settlement in George Floyd's death were rare, but these financial measures could boost police accountability. A pandemic wake-up call, middle schoolers should spend no more than 1 hour on screens, study says. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Walter Pitt's obituary, 2021, Law Crescent, MN.IL, Sauk Valley News, Legacy.com. Bounty system to boost tech innovations, ChinaDaily.com CN, China Daily USA. Apple's iBeacon targeted in patent infringement lawsuit, general discussions on Apple Insider forums, Apple Insider. Pacific University's first patent pair American League Division Series, a new emphasis on entrepreneurship, Pacific University. The big secret behind the proposed TRIPS waiver, IPWatchdog.com. David J. Aldrich joined the Allegro Microsystems Board of Directors, Globe Newswire. A mentor lost to COVID, Greater Kashmir. Antitrust guidance by the Justice Department for higher education institutions. Non-standard essential patents pool reveals a path toward licensing and innovation, J.D. Supra. Salk and Sabin ended polio epidemic without patents, The Wall Street Journal. Mark York, The Office actor, dead at 55, Vulture. The next headlines are from Quartz. Hong Kongers are using blockchain archive to fight government censorship. An anonymous artist is chronicling the pandemic politics in Modi's India, one comic at a time. Come hail or pandemic, India's farmers have been protesting for 6 months. Why the wild variation in plans for returning to offices is a good sign. A beginner's guide to the world of specs. The U.S. is leading all major countries in COVID-19 vaccinations. U.S. child care is a mess, but it's not what's holding back the recovery. Olympic travel, George Floyd anniversary, new richest person. The incredible incentives being offered to Americans to get vaccinated. Nigeria has the most startups in Africa but falls short on other critical metrics. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Getting absurd, Twitch creates a hot tub channel, says it should have communicated with streamers about a monetization. Employees are feeling burned over broken work from home promises as employers try to bring them back to the office. TechDirt Podcast Episode 284, How to Think About Cybersecurity. FCC's car thinks big tech should subsidize his pals in big telecom. Former Trump spokesman ordered to pay $42,000 to Gizmodo after losing his bogus defamation lawsuit. Daily Deal, the A to Z cybersecurity and IT training bundle. Police in India raid Twitter offices after Twitter labeled a tweet by a government official as manipulated media. Biden cuts $35 billion from new broadband plan to appease the GOP. Another journalist informed Trump Department of Justice obtained their phone and email records. Milwaukee Sewerage District threatens Menards over fertilizer sales. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Clippers. Adam Levine. Lakers. Brooks Koepka. Mike Tyson. Lauren Daigle. Nets. Khloe Kardashian, Lamar Odom. Johnny Knoxville. Last night in Soho. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. All that glitters, Kyrgyzstan is going to war with the Canadian gold giant over vast profits, torture claims and a poisoned glacier. WhatsApp sues Indian government over new social media rules, citing privacy concerns, reports. Worse than Fox, CNN insiders livid as Cuomo family doesn't have to follow network rules. Biden says Nord Stream 2 sanctions waived because pipeline nearly done and fighting it now would be counterproductive with allies. Syrian election that hasn't happened yet will neither be free nor fair, declare US and allies. Ireland rejects Biden's push for global corporate tax hike, as finance minister vows to keep rates low. Now everyone agrees I was right, Trump trolls critics after Wuhan lab theory of COVID-19 origin becomes mainstream. Georgia governor signs executive order banning state entities from requiring COVID-19 vaccine passports. Comeback cash, Colorado launches $1 million COVID-19 vaccine lottery modeled on successful Ohio initiative. Central Intelligence Agency commemorates 60-year anniversary of one of its most infamous failures in history, Bay of Pigs invasion, with Victory Coin. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. China expands influence in Africa by building government facilities, West starting to counter. Visualizing the copper intensity of renewable energy. Alternative version of who may be behind the Minsk special operation. C.J. Hopkins, greetings from New Normal Germany. Eating meat is the norm almost everywhere. Fusion GPS is losing the fight to keep its record secret. Pilots tell Israeli news channel they flattened Gaza buildings to vent frustration. Bandari, inside India's Hunger Games. Every Nerf gun could be turned into 80% or greater receiver under new ATF rule. Mystery game makes Chinese stocks exciting again. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. U.S. Why are migrant women having needless medical procedures? Israel's divide, rule and erase strategy is failing. Myanmar Cardinal calls for end to violence after church attack. In a blow to U.S. miners, Biden wants to import metals for EVs. Cyclone Yas kills 2 in India's Odisha as rains lash east coast. COVID strain first detected in India found in 53 territories, WHO. China's latest crackdown on crypto caused by climate concerns. Aussie rules, Melbourne fans to get tested amid COVID scare. Asia, America's look to the skies for superflower blood moon. New York prosecutors investigating Trump convene grand jury. The next headlines are from Breitbart. State treasurers send message to banks, if you drop coal, we will stop using you. MSNBC's O'Donnell, 53% of Republicans fail a basic mental competency test, they think Trump won. CNN's Cuomo, right, making assumptions on COVID origin leads to hatred towards Asian people, we haven't seen assumptions on left. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee signs bill to ban teaching of critical race theory. CNN's Lemon, Republicans are the party of antisemitism. CNN's Keeler, Fauci never said COVID didn't come from lab, Trump pushed it as he made racist comments that increased hate crimes. CNN's Keeler, lab leak theory, a fringe idea until March 2021, was hooked by conspiracy theorists. Senate confirms Biden Department of Justice nominee Kristen Clark with 1 Republican vote. Rand Paul, I'm sick and tired of the violence coming from the left. Dem Rep Ceciline, I see no evidence of antisemitism among Dems, we're strongest voices condemning rise in violence. The next headlines are from UPI News. Helping a neighbor with car trouble leads man to $100,000 lottery prize. Watch, Virginia dad invents spittle-free way to blow out birthday candles. Look, Wisconsin zoo's escaped alligator found safe after 2 days. Watch, wedding ring lost in Tennessee yard found 55 years later. Watch, Philadelphia chefs assemble 510-foot cheesesteak. Watch, crocodile takes a swim in Florida woman's backyard pool. Watch, British jet suit inventor breaks 3 track-inspired world records. Watch, baby elephant rescued from reservoir in India. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. May is asparagus month and you should celebrate. These 10 plants will get rid of mosquitoes this summer. 5 facts you didn't know about playing golf. How do you open an online casino account? The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Dad rallies celebrities to offer life lessons to COVID year seniors in Denver, see the great gift for free. Different gamer wins confidence and fans with bionic arm after a rough time in school. 10 ducklings follow mom through elementary school, continuing a 20-year tradition. Watch. English footballer Marcus Rashford donates millions for child poverty, becomes youngest ever person ever to top giving list. 60-plus major companies sign radical deal to dramatically reduce plastic waste in just 4 years. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Wednesday, May 26th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Deputies investigate incident involving goats, glitter at local high school. Harmless senior prank gets half of Texas high school's graduating class suspended. F9 star John Cena apologizes in Mandarin after referring to Taiwan as a country. High school students crash a car into a home's roof. They barely missed hitting a sleeping couple. The seniors got out after the crash and walked through the bedroom. Large chunk of ice falls from sky through Florida home's roof. Cheese photo leads to Liverpool drug dealer's downfall. Carl Stewart, 39, was identified through his fingerprints after police analyzed the image he posted in an online chat. Algae proteins partially restore man's sight. Facebook, Twitter to be blocked in India on May 26. Here is what we know so far. Man with sentimental machete in car trunk avoids prison. Body of missing man found inside dinosaur statue. The next headlines are from a site called the Next Web. X-ray vision tech could soon see through rubble and help save disaster victims. Why WhatsApp is dragging the Indian government to court this week. USB-C will soon be able to charge at 240W, more than 2x its current limit. Microsoft CEO promises next-gen Windows will be revealed very soon. GPT-3's ability to write disinformation is being wildly overstated by the media. Grillo, IBM, and the Clinton Foundation expand low-cost earthquake detection to the Caribbean. Artist imagines an electric Bugatti Type Atlantic 57 SC and it's iconic. Want to get in on the NFT gold mine? In 60 minutes, you can be ready to cash in. Cummins won't let diesel die. New emission-lowering tech throws fuel a lifeline, for now. I bootstrapped my company to a $500 M+ valuation. Here are my top 5 learnings. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Geology helps map kidney stone formation from tiny to troublesome. Asthma medication use and exacerbations. Candid Cosmos, Eurosita camera set benchmark for astronomical imaging. Does cold wildfire smoke contribute to water repellent soils in burned areas? 9 hallucinogenic psychedelic analog reverses effects of stress in mouse study. Holograms increase solar energy yield. Impact of coal burning on Yangtze River is comparable to natural processes. Probing deeper into origins of cosmic rays. Silver attacks bacteria, gets consumed. How to boost muscle regeneration and rebuild tissue. The next headlines are from Information Week. Return to office risks worth considering. How IT corrected business blind spots during the pandemic. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Wednesday, May 26 from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. El nuevo reto estudiantil de la NASA ofrece un desarrollo tecnológico práctico. New NASA Student Challenge offers hands-on tech development. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Photos, George Floyd mourned in Salt Lake City on the anniversary of his death. 1 year after George Floyd's death, did anything change? A woman was groped at the University of Utah. Skin cells on her clothing helped investigators catch her attacker. Can the Memphis Grizzlies stop, or at least slow down, Donovan Mitchell? It remains to be seen as Game 2 arrives. We are friends and we are neighbors. Utah's Jewish, Muslim communities unite against antisemitism, Islamophobia. Bagley cartoon, not the Holocaust. Utah Jazz vet Derek Favors had a huge game against Grizzlies in Game 1. Can his energy be contagious? Utah reports 185 new cases of COVID-19 and no new deaths. Here are 5 things you need to know about buying and drinking canned cocktails in Utah. David L. Gerb, community college should be more than just free. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Viasat asks FCC to halt SpaceX Starlink launches because it cannot compete. Joe Biden opens up California coast to offshore wind. Russia makes good on its threat to fine Google over illegal internet content. Bitcoin Mining Council to report renewable energy usage. Amazon's ad revenue is now twice as big as Snap, Twitter, Roku and Pinterest combined. Valve is making a Switch-like portable gaming PC. Synopsys claims chip design breakthrough with AI engineering. Redditors ain't a free science from for-profit publishers. Senate preparing $10 billion bailout fund for Jeff Bezos' space firm. Microsoft says next generation of Windows coming soon. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Thousands of brand new GM vehicles waiting for critical microchips. Contact 2, a seller's perspective of the crazy St. Louis real estate market. St. Louis police believe person who stole tools from local locksmith also broke into a towing company. Missing man resurfaces only to disappear again in decade-long mystery. $23 Eureka development set for August completion. You paid for it. Collinsville superintendent criticizes decision to move ahead with assessment tests. New Era removes MLB hats from website following backlash. Rescue group in Missouri hopes Tiger King raid in Ocala raises awareness about tiger problem. Expecting first-time dad Luke Voigt, I cannot wait to meet my son or daughter. Ms. ready to help athletes profit from name, image, and likeness once Parsons signs bill into law. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Video shows passenger punching flight attendant, suspect arrested. County reports 71 new COVID-19 cases, 4 deaths as hospitalizations drop. George Floyd's cousin, a local Navy sailor, speaks 1 year after Floyd's death. Animal rights group sues John Cox over use of bear in gubernatorial campaign. Vista unified to upgrade facilities for female athletes amid Title IX dispute. City Council approves new franchise agreements with SDG&E. Arrest made in 2019 slaying of Claremont donut shop owner. 10,000 workers from Maquiladora south of the border to get COVID-19 vaccine in California. Prosecutor in Trump criminal probe convenes grand jury, report. COVID milestone, 50% of U.S. adults now fully vaccinated. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. A hacking competition may have given China new ways to spy on the Uyghurs. TikTok is obsessed with this phone charger that's also a hidden camera, and it's so tiny. The Spy, a week to wish to squish the fish, spying the Miami Dolphins. Google now lets you password protect your searches to shield your history. Biden and Putin to meet at Switzerland summit in June. Google now lets you password protect your searches to shield your history from prying eyes. Spy alarm turns your switch into an invisible tripwire. Free Guard, shooting to start on Belfast movie maker's directorial debut. Movies with Mary, My Spy will make you want to join the Central Intelligence Agency. USA new home sales for APR 863.000K versus 970.000K est, prior 1.021M. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Ukrainian military holds first round of armed ground robots demo. U.S. Army develops autonomous military robotic Leggett platforms. U.S. Army opens Patriot missile storage facility in Japan. U.S. Army awards Leidos $34 million for reconnaissance systems. U.S. Army orders more GPS guidance kits for artillery projectiles. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. When China's nationalist government lost Shanghai. Scientists reconsider accidental lab leak theory as COVID-19 origins remain unclear. Dispatch from Shenzhen, China's booming drone industry. John Cena wants Chinese fans to forgive his Taiwan blunder and go watch his new movie. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. 5 years since Vallejo teen Pearl Pinson disappeared. FAA proposes fines against unruly passengers on airplanes. Bishop of Oakland Diocese says he was robbed at gunpoint. Legislators urge state to deny San Francisco School District reopening funds. Police warn residents after mountain lion enters San Bruno home. How to prevent a deadly drug overdose. California to roll out incentive program amid declining vaccination rates. Heinz offering $25 K dream job to lucky burger lover. Disadvantaged communities hit hardest by drought. Kansas teen hugged his best friend, then later recognized him as his mom's alleged killer. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Rallies, moments of silence honor George Floyd a year later. Packers say they won't let Rodgers' situation distract them. Joe West breaks umpiring record with 5,376th game. Riffs Knitter, Twins 8 extra base hits, Hando's 8th loss in row. Rays 11-game streak halted by Royals, 2-1. Illinois case positivity rate drops to lowest point during pandemic. Pritzker touts time to drive for tourism despite price of gas. Glenbard South principal apologizes for omitting words to Pledge of Allegiance. Police investigating possible break in 1982 Northbrook cold case. East Indy Board releases legal documents to defend allowing Anderson to stay as trustee. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Chinook and Cayuse passes through Mount Rainier National Park to reopen this week. Seattle City Council approves bill to move 911 dispatch out of the Seattle Police Department. Northwest Folklife turns 50, a look back on Seattle's iconic festival. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Red alert for Tropical Cyclone YAAS-21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 2.342 million. Drought is ongoing in Brazil. Volcanic eruption is ongoing for Fuego in Guatemala. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Volcanic eruption is ongoing for Great Sitkin in United States. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Wednesday, May 26th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. What a future Russia house must look like. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Second arrest made in NJ mass shooting, woman injured in gunfire declared clinically dead. 23 Houston police shootings in the last year, but no video released. The big question George Floyd's family had for President Biden before meeting. Brazoria County woman added to most wanted fugitives list. 2 young children were inside apartment during deadly home invasion in Southwest Houston. Deer Park HS senior gets sweet surprise after graduation yard sign gets stolen. Actor Samuel E. Wright, known as voice of Sebastian the Crab in Little Mermaid, dies at 74. Houston mayor suggests investing in underserved communities could reduce shock and stress. Cocaine bundles wash up 2 different Matagorda County beaches, deputies say. Pregnant woman dies, but unborn baby survives Baytown shooting. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Can Captain America save his season at Indy 500? Chambers Bay back in Oscar rotation, Open may remain elusive. American on trial in Japan gets support from ex-boss Cohn. 5 key takeaways from AP's interview with Carlos Cohn. Blinken heads to Egypt to shore up Gaza ceasefire efforts. Taiwan reports 633 new local cases and 11 deaths, tally at 6,091. Crawford 3 hits Power Mariners past Athletics 4-3. Doncic and Mavs beat Clippers 127-121, take 2-0 series lead. Key events and arrest, flight of ex-Nissan boss Carlos Cohn. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. How to watch the Republican mayoral debate. Thousands of New Yorkers mark 1-year anniversary of George Floyd's death. The NYPD's new chief of department launches listening tour with city youth. Plan your visit to Craft Front and Center, the Museum of Arts and Design's new major exhibition. Civil rights monitors brace for encounters with the NYPD as demonstrators across the city march in memory of George Floyd. Critics claim MTA survey, used to justify more police, overplayed riders' fears. Extra, Derek Jeter fixed up this NY castle and now you can buy it. State Board of Elections approves software to tabulate ranked choice primary results. Data Watch, where mayoral candidates are getting their money and how they're spending it. Calls grow in NY to fully outlaw tobacco, as federal menthol ban looms. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Tools to protect civilians in conflict exist, but not the will to apply them, Lowcock tells Security Council. Somali leaders walk back from the brink, resume talks on critical elections. India's second COVID-19 wave shatters livelihood hopes of poor migrant laborers. Belarus, UN Human Rights Office calls for immediate release of Roman Protasevich. Africa essential for sustainable development, poverty reduction and peace. Share gains from extracting precious raw materials more equitably, guard against pitfalls, cautions Gooders. Conserving tigers, elephants and bison, one LPG stove at a time. Not without my hijab, why representation in sports matter. Wars without water. Developing countries desperately need COVID-19 financing. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. COVID-19 origin descent suppressed by intelligence community, House GOP report finds. Another coup erupts in Mali as military arrests president and other top officials. Report, leaks show mystery disease outbreak at Wuhan lab in 2019. Brits tracked by phone after COVID jab to see if movements changed. UK police state, dystopian sci-fi short film. The death of expertise and the rise of the internet. Rand Paul receives death threat package with white powder and violent, profane message. The one about COVID vaccination injection sites and magnets. Facebook's massive global censorship to silence vaccine skeptics. Kellogg's launches gay pride cereal that encourages buyer to choose characters' pronouns. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Is India banning Twitter? Woman charged with assaulting Southwest flight attendant. Student says Kansas lawmaker kicked him in testicles. Georgia park with giant Confederate carving approves changes. Jolie says judge in pit divorce won't let children testify. New grand jury seated for next stage of Trump investigation. Tom Cotton suggests without evidence that AP acted as human shields for Hamas. Did WhatsApp secretly change privacy settings? U.S. allows Americans with expired passports to return home. Bad dream stopped Everest guide from climbing peak 26th time. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Insurance companies provide coverage after COVID-19 vaccination. China closes gap with US on R&D investments, but hasn't caught up. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Jimmy Kimmel mocks Trump's shameless fundraising ad, "Send the billionaire your money, gummies." Hannity wants Fox reporter to give his sippy cup to Biden. Montana woman who killed abusive ex is permanently cleared. Andrew Yang rips NYC tabloid for racist cartoon calling him a tourist. Witnesses say white woman accused of ramming protesters used N-word. John Cena issues groveling apology to China after calling Taiwan a country. Doomsday couple allegedly murdered 3 and justified it with religious beliefs. Family of American journal detained in Myanmar shares nightmare you never imagine. I'm a rational Jewish person. Marjorie Taylor Greene is nuts. Gunfire erupts at George Floyd Square as mourners gather for 1-year anniversary. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Red Hot Thomas Nito belts game-winning HR and Mets win. Giancarlo Stanton's Yankees return coming into focus. Kyrie Irving hopes this Boston return will be strictly basketball. LeBron James, Anthony Davis save Lakers from falling into 2-0 hole. Outfielder needy Mets deal for Brewers Billy McKinney. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. When will the first baby be born in space? Snapshot evidence of recent explosive volcanism on Mars. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Blind man's vision partially restored with new gene therapy. NASA traces source of fast radio bursts sending signals to Earth. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Eric Adams leads, Garcia and Morales surging in NYC mayor's race, new poll. Arkansas school apologizes for political news summaries in yearbook. Massachusetts high school teacher placed on leave after distributing a highly inappropriate sexual survey to students. Walmart apologizes to customers who received an email with the N-word. Italian street artist sues Vatican for using her work. LA airport workers stole gold bars headed to New York, prosecutors. Meghan McCain announces a paradigm shift on racism, and the internet is skeptical. New Yorkers mark 1-year anniversary of George Floyd's death with long moment of silence and protest. Attorneys for South Carolina church gunman Dylan Roof argue that his beliefs prove incapacity. Marilyn Manson wanted in New Hampshire on assault warrant. The following headlines are from military.com. Army punishes 15 leaders, including 2-star general, over botched SHARP program. Lawmakers urge Biden to keep Guantanamo Bay prison open after Afghanistan pullout. After Australian ship hits 2 whales, U.S. Navy says it takes steps to protect marine life. Fully vaccinated sailors can make some port calls, ditch masks and cut quarantines. Landstuhl military doctors introduce cryotherapy to aid patients with allergies. CDC now watching for cases of heart inflammation following COVID-19 vaccine. Mysterious air base being built on volcanic island off Yemen. I Am Vanessa Gillen Act praised as calls for removing COs from sexual assault prosecutions mount. Army moles returning to gendered fitness standards over complaints of lopsided ACFT. Australia closes its embassy in Kabul, others scale back. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Woman, 41, found dead in car parked in Lakeview, police say. Fresh Coast Solar installs solar panels at the College of Lake County in Grays Lake. Rallies, moments of silence mark 1 year since George Floyd was killed by Minneapolis police. Grief, smiles a year after George Floyd's killing as his family meets with President Biden. As Chicagoans mark the anniversary of George Floyd's murder, activists call for police reform. Proposal for 110 new recreational marijuana stores passes Illinois House. Legislation would allow neighborhood competition, boost minority ownership. Police search Northbrook Yard in connection with 1982 missing person cold case. Democrats want to redraw Illinois Supreme Court districts for first time in almost 60 years in effort to maintain majority. The Spin, Schneider pushes Congress to censure Taylor Greene. Lesser-known ComEd law cost customers $600. Min 7 years. George Floyd's killing marked 1 year later. Vigils, marches in Chicago on the 1-year anniversary of George Floyd's death. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Pacific sees a blood moon rising. How Army ants' iconic mass raids evolved. Conserving and monitoring genetic diversity will benefit nature and society. Incentivized product reviews, positive to a fault. Researchers develop algorithm to compare cells across species. Dimensions of invasive plant success. Punch mission passes important milestone. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Wednesday, May 26th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Can Captain America save his season at Indy 500? Police declare riot, make multiple arrests in Portland. Asian shares advance as investors await U.S. growth data. Top 2 seeded twosomes lose in quarters at U.S. Amateur 4-ball at Chambers Bay. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Cat burglar, San Bruno resident encounters mountain lion inside home. The gold standard, San Jose approves Google's downtown village and campus in historic vote. SF Giants back to 10 games over .500, Longoria, Crawford lead rout of Diamondbacks. Hampered by big defensive catches, Oakland A's comeback attempts fall short in third straight loss. Man arrested in connection with robbery at downtown Palo Alto train station. San Jose Sharks reach last-minute settlement over Google's downtown development. The Voice season finale, and the winner is teen arrested in connection with Gilroy man's shooting death. U.S. downgrades Mexico aviation safety rating. New era unveils MLB local market hats, gets roasted online, then removes MLB local market hats. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. SV date, HuffPost White House correspondent, Capitol riot 1000% worse than 9/11. Donald Trump, grand jury report is continuation of the greatest witch hunt in American history. Rand Paul accuses Richard Marx of advocating violence in praising attacker. Justice Department to appeal decision ordering release of memo cited by Barr in Russia probe. Matthew Lohmeyer, dismissed Space Force officer, finds ally in James Inhofe, Mike Rogers. David Chipman, Joe Biden's ATF nominee, to tout experience at confirmation hearing. Cyrus Vance Jr. convenes grand jury in Trump business dealings probe. Rodney Tolson Jr., Border Patrol agent, charged with smuggling migrants. 1/3 of Americans unwilling to spend $1 to fight climate change. 1619 project faces backlash from conservative black intellectuals. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Emily Wilder's firing is no surprise, AP has always been right-wing. Congress misses symbolic deadline for police reform. Oracle boasted that its software was used against U.S. protesters, then it took the tech to China. Israeli police round up Palestinian protesters out of global spotlight. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Higher incidence of carpal tunnel syndrome after bilateral oophorectomy. Onco target, creation of a new class of radiosensitizers for glioblastoma. Even among the insured, Quest may delay follow-up care for cancer survivors. Older Canadians say they're more willing to get the flu shot in the wake of COVID-19. As water sources become scarce, understanding emerging subsurface contaminants is key. Research finds half of UK residents willing to adopt vaccine passports for travel. Low blood flow in the brain may be an early sign of Parkinson's disease. How Armyan's iconic mass raids evolved. 2 new attacks break PDF certification. National survey of frontline healthcare workers finds fear, unsafe working conditions. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Teen girl shot in Riverdale. Horoscope for Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Bragging rights go to Lucas Giolito in White Sox 8-3 victory. Man dies after walking into East Side restaurant with gunshot wounds, police say. Skyfall to Atlanta Dream 90-83 for second consecutive loss. Summer 2021, which Chicago festivals, events have returned, been rescheduled? Woman charged in connection with Palatine dog attack. Nico Horner leaves game with strained left hamstring. Samuel E. Wright, voiced Sebastian in The Little Mermaid, dies at 74. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Astros facing key stretch at difficult moment. Houston Symphony's Find Your Dream concert spotlights Rodgers and Hammerstein. Opinion: you cannot explain abortion to conservatives. These Houston restaurants are offering brunch, burgers and deals this Memorial Day weekend. Evolving together, say girls say lets their hair down. The next headlines are about world records making news. Amelia Hartford reveals plan to reclaim the C8 Corvette world record, hot cars. Broker Ben Caballero smashes his own world record, again, Inman. Busted David Healy hails incredible Linfield title win to share world record, MSN UK. Working pop rockets to world record prize overseas, Port Lincoln Times. Guinness World Records shares 13 amazing eye-popping archive images, Digital Camera World. Weightlifting world record for Ukraine's Konotop, Olympic spot not guaranteed, InsideTheGames.biz. British jet suit inventor breaks 3-track inspired world records, UPI News. Texas man sets world record after catching rare hybrid fish, Fox News. Philadelphia's world record attempt for longest cheesesteak is a sham, Bro Bible. BTS single Butter breaks 3 world records across YouTube and Spotify, Guinness World Records. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. The Little Mermaid's voice of Sebastian, Samuel E. Wright, has died. Amazon workers are petitioning the company to bring its pollution to zero by 2030. DC police surveil clowns on social media, leaked dogs show. Roku is plotting to take over your smart home. Hoo boy, the feds sure have a lot of dirt on Big Rudy. One Game of Thrones spin-off may have just pulled ahead of the others. Black Lightning series finale had absolutely zero chill and no heat. San Francisco's flavored vape ban linked to more teen smoking, study finds. Valve reportedly making its own PC Switch clone called Steam Pal. The new Sonos One SL is a reminder that smart devices have a short shelf life. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Abu Samra in Qatar at 118.58 degrees Fahrenheit or 48.1 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 96.16 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 71.2 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Moderna's data in kids ages 12-17 consistent with the vaccine efficacy of 100%. Amazon's most favored nation clause is slammed in lawsuit filed by Washington, D.C. Vulnerability in VMware product has severity rating of 9.8 out of 10. Today's best tech deals, Nintendo Switch games, Logitech mice, and more. Exclusive, Valve is making a Switch-like portable gaming PC. Florida makes it illegal for Facebook and Twitter to ban politicians. 24-inch M1 iMac teardown finds, not that much inside, actually. Google launches its third major operating system, Fuchsia. Sensor-driven turbine platforms could unlock 4,000 TWh of offshore wind. Hyundai reveals US specs for Ioniq 5 electric crossover. The following headlines are from Raw Story. WSJ editorial schools Republicans on why January 6th Commission is critical to America's security. Trump lashes out at New York grand jury, but he doesn't have any idea what the case is about. Colorado senator breaks out his banjo to do his own School of Rock video about the voting rights bill. Trump joins forces with Newt Gingrich to recycle old 1990s contract with America's modern idea. Arkansas middle school apologizes for biased yearbook photos whitewashing Capitol riot. Rachel Maddow demands to know why Merrick Garland is trying to paper over Bill Barr's cover-up for Trump. GOP keep changing their excuse for opposing 1/6 commission because they know it will incriminate them, reporter. Biographer walks through how the case against Trump could be presented to the New York grand jury. I would willingly do it again, Capitol rioter says Trump invited him to be there. Senate Democrats will force a vote on January 6th commission this week. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Democratic senators who support the filibuster beg Republicans not to filibuster. Right-wing doctors are soon to block COVID vaccine for kids. An incarcerated artist memorializes the forgotten people killed by COVID in prison. Marjorie Taylor Greene keeps comparing COVID rules to Nazi Germany. An assassination in Myanmar, and preparing for a civil war. Limiting qualified immunity for cops was a bipartisan issue after George Floyd's murder. What happened? How a student in Malaysia kept endangered longors safe. Bill and Melinda Gates' Empire of Dirt. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Radio signal, worms, mushrooms, 5 unproven claims that might point to the existence of alien life. First post. Alien autopsy NFT drop, authenticated by the CIA, reserve $1 million on wearable, Globe Newswire. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Obesity paradox challenged, weight gain does not protect cognition, Medscape. 4 best brain supplements in 2021, nootropics for brain health and focus, Dallas Observer. What happens to your body when you eat healthy every day? Eat this, not that, eat this, not that. Could the spirit molecule be a treatment option for stroke, the growth op? The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. The maximum human lifespan is 150 years, new research estimates, Scientific American. Clearing cellular deadwood in the pipeline, Science magazine. Breaking the limit of human longevity is closer than ever, Explica.co, Explica. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Wednesday, May 26, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Navy UFO videos debunked. The mainstream media's lonely UFO blog is dead. Long live life in Jonestown. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News.8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News.8. All rights reserved.